Can you name your favorite composer? For a lot of people, if we asked them who their favorite composer would be, they might say Bach, maybe Beethoven, Mendelssohn. Those are some of the well-known ones. Maybe they are into French composers or some other people from around the world or more modern composers. I'm interested if you would put in the comments who your favorite composer is. Now, as you may know, I recently was able to go on a pilgrimage to Germany, and that trip was mostly to trace the footsteps of Martin Luther as well as Johann Sebastian Bach. But one of our steps took us to the walled city of Nuremberg. And this is a beautiful old city that the historic part has a wall around it, and in the center, as there often is, there's a church, and this is the church of St. Sebald. And that is the church where Johann Pachelbel was organist. And so I was able to go into the church. I was even able to hear an organ concert while I was there. And naturally, the organist played a piece by Pachelbel. So it was just such an amazing experience to be in this beautiful city and hear the music from one of these most prolific composers. And probably, even though you may not have listed that off as one of your favorites, if you think about pieces that are played like at a wedding, Pachelbel's canon. How often do we have that? So it's definitely an important part of our classical repertoire. Now, the piece that the organist played there was a partita. And a partita is another word for a set of variations. And the nice thing about variations is that you can show off all the different colors of the organ. And what I love so much about this instrument is that it has so many different sounds. And so I want to play a few of those for you, maybe to help inform how you listen to the organ, or just to maybe give you a deeper appreciation of the instrument. So first I'm going to play for you what we would call the organ sound. These are the principles of the instrument. And while I do this, I'm going to be using a partita by Johann Pachelbel. And this partita is called Freu, dich, sehr. Now let me read you that verse so you can be thinking about the words as well as I play you some of the different sounds. Rejoice greatly, O my soul, and forget all misery and torment, since Christ is your Lord. He calls you from this land of misery. His joy and splendor you will see in eternity, and rejoice with the angels, triumph in eternity. So this is a positive, exciting text, even though it's often used at times it might be a little bit more sad, but as we know, we have hope ultimately. And so it is a powerful, hopeful text. And so first I'm going to play this for you using the principal sounds of the organ. I'm going to echo on the flute. So a flute sound would be like a flute like we think of in a modern orchestra, or a recorder, maybe something like that. Now we also have on the organ strings. Our woodwind sounds, which would be like our oboe and our bassoon. Listen to this. So you can kind of hear that. We also have brass, trumpets, for example. And then, as an organist, you get to put all of these things together in different combinations, and it's just really great to have a little orchestra at my disposal. However, having a full orchestra is an even more amazing experience. And I would like to extend an invitation to you to join us in person, ideally, but online if you're not here locally, to come hear the Concordia Irvine Symphony Orchestra play. They're going to be joining us for our 8 and 9:30 services this weekend, and we're going to have strings, and we're going to have woodwinds, and we're going to have brass, and I'll even be joining with organs, so we'll have double the fun. And it's just going to be a wonderful time of worship as they are on tour. And part of their mission is to bring the classical music into sacred spaces to help more people be able to understand and to worship God through music. So we're very excited for that experience. I also would like to invite you next Sunday, which is October 26th, Reformation, to come to Victory as well or watch online. Will I be giving an organ concert, just me, no orchestra joining that time, but I'll be sharing music by Johann Bach and his influences, both people that have influenced him as well as those who he has influenced through the years, and talking a little bit about my time in Germany. So I'm excited to share that with you. I hope you'll be able to come either in person or online. Don't forget to tell me who your favorite composer is in the comments. And I'm going to finish up by giving you the final variation here on full organ. So I'll be using both the principal sounds and some of the reeds put in there just to give you a nice experience as we wrap up. I can't wait to be back with you again soon.